Hey everybody. Hey Snow, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're gonna get right into it today because we got three people on the phone here. Today we're gonna be talking about a book coming out October 13th. Love Meets Life: Stories of Love Showing Up in Unexpected Ways. We both had a chance to get an advance copy of it and read it,
I
and
read the whole thing.
it was a great book. I mean, it's kind of like what we really needed this year, especially with all the bad news. It was good for a book of positive stories.
I thought, first off, I love how the book was set up, like the short little chapters. It makes it very easy to read a book that way because I'm like a super busy person. But I will say that I love the stories because I thought going into it, I'm like, oh no, this book is going to make me feel bad because it's all about love and I haven't been the nicest person because of the way that the year, but it was a great book and great stories. So thank you for your book.
Yeah. Uh, Tara, how did this come about?
Yeah, hi. I'm Tara EJ. I'm a dreamer about love anyway. I'm always, everything I do is about love. I have the Love Glasses Revolution, choosing to see the world with love. So that's all I think about. And I think about ways to promote love and put it out into the world. And maybe I needed it more than anybody. So I'm like, just ask 53 people, please, let's do this thing together because I needed a pick me up during 2020. And I didn't give them any parameters. I just asked them to speak their way about love. And what we got back, we could have never predicted. It was just awe inspiring.
And you reached out to these 53 people yourself, individually?
Different ways. We put it out online. I have a pretty big social media network, so I put it out that way. And then also, there are a few people I definitely reached out to individually, and not all said yes. Some people said that they couldn't during this time, and they couldn't muster the will to speak about love. And so, it was pick and choose who could do this. It wasn't the easiest of tasks.
You know, I'm a bad host sometimes. I should have introduced everybody. We have Tara EJ, we have Deidre Abood, and Susie Gestrine. Did I pronounce everybody's names right?
You did.
I'm horrible about that. Yeah. So this book drops October 13th. You can find it on Amazon, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
And Barnes and Noble, actually.
Barnes and Noble. Are those even around anymore?
Well, online. Go online. That's what everybody's doing. Yeah, that's where you'll find it.
Okay. And there was quite a diversity of authors in this. Could you talk about that a little bit, like the age range and everything else?
Yeah, we had a teenager who just turned 14 today, actually. McKenna, she wrote her story, and then we have into the 70s. And, I'm pretty blessed to have a wide circle of people with diverse ages and labels, if you will, and, backgrounds, careers. So it wasn't hard to find a diverse group for me. And it was really exciting to see that all the different people that stepped up, from tarot card readers to construction workers to pastors to politicians to lawyers to whatever, you name it, like if we're doing label wise.
And
It was,
there seemed to be like the running theme, like everybody is trying to have a positive outlook in these times.
yeah, I mean, the only thing that we said is, can you leave people feeling a little bit better than you found them? Like, we don't believe that love is just, rainbows and unicorns, as I put in the foreword. You have to go through stuff sometimes. Life is messy, love is messy, but, there are always lessons to learn from it. And we just wanted to show people that you didn't have to have everything so fluffy all the time and you'll still make it through. People will get to the end, and um, it'll be positive on the other side.
Yeah. The first chapter was by Deidre, and I really liked that one. And Deidre, can you talk a little bit about that? Because I remember reading about this because I follow you on social media about hearing these stories. But go ahead and tell your story a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, love and life, all of it is messy, and I think that we have misunderstood, some of the positive outlooks. In fact, positivity has been weaponized in some ways. My story is really about, what I experienced, but it's focused on people threw things at me, but I had a choice on how I would react. And my choice in reaction is always going to be standing up for myself, standing up strong. But I can still be kind in that I'm going to focus on what you're throwing at me as opposed to attacking you for, basically just bringing in unnecessary stuff. I'm going to stick with the topic at hand, but I will defend myself. And I can show love even when you're not showing love.
Yeah. And I have to.
And love, it looks different. It's not rainbows. It's not someone knocking you over the head and you saying thank you. That's not love.
Yeah. Well, I have to commend you because I follow you on social media, and you get a lot of hate thrown your way, and I don't know how you do it, how you compose yourself, because I don't think I would be able to do that.
Well, it's years of experience. Somebody who shows up like I do, whether it's my dress or my strength as a strong woman, those things trigger people. And when they see my strength and then see my clothing, a lot of times, because I wear the scarf, and it confuses them. But basically, they have it in their mind that I'm going to be an easy target. And they are often surprised that is not the case. But the reality is, I get so much hate and people get to witness it because I'm in the public eye. But when I wasn't in the public eye, when I was, just doing my civil rights and social justice, when I was, practicing law, I still got these things. People just weren't in the position to witness it.
And for any listeners here, what was your background on, because you ran for office a couple years ago, and you're running for office again this year, correct?
Right. Yep. I'm on the ballot right now in Maricopa County. So, my background, originally I'm from Arkansas. I moved to Arizona in 98. I'm the youngest of 4 daughters raised by a single parent. My background was accounting and finance. And then I went to working in civil rights and social justice in the nonprofit advocacy. Then I went to law school, became an attorney, opened up my own law firm, and, then basically looked around and said, I've been holding politicians accountable all these years. Maybe it's time, as many people started deciding in 2016, 2017, maybe it's time that I, as a normal person with ethics and values, get into this foray instead of constantly saying politics is dirty, let the dirty people deal with it, and just abandoning, we complain, but we abandon it to the people who have no ethics and values. So 2017, 2018 was a huge year, especially in Arizona, for people to start running for office who had never run before, who decided, look, I have a brain, I have values, I can talk to my neighbors, I can make good decisions. I want to be part of this from the inside.
I guess we can thank 2016 for that. That really motivated people to
All right.
finally get out and get boots on the ground. So if there's one good thing that came out of that, it would be all of this. Because
in Arizona, hugely in Arizona. Example this year, I'm running for the Board of Supervisors for the county. This is an office that most people had never even heard of, even though it's the most powerful office in any county in Arizona. And Democrats don't usually run in these local races because it comes every 4 years at the presidential election, and everybody's looking at the shiny thing at the top every 4 years. So Democrats we just completely abandoned these local offices. And after 2016, more and more people started saying, no, let's look at these local offices too. This is a local defense. We've had more people run in Arizona who typically wouldn't have run before, particularly either as independents or as Democrats. We've had more since 2016 than we probably had in the last 2 decades.
Well, and hopefully,
True.
there's a very good chance that Arizona could turn blue this year.
Let's hope.
Right.
Yeah. Go
We're
Mark
doing
Kelly.
our part.
Yeah. I already voted yesterday.
Yeah, we got our ballots yesterday. We
That was
just
the fastest
opened those
I've
things
ever
so
voted.
quickly. Oh, God, it felt
Yeah,
so
we ran a
good.
parade yesterday, a parade to the polls, and it was beautiful. People decorated their cars. We drove, to the recorder's office, to the drop box, and honestly, I thought it was just a cool thing because we see all of the Trump supporters. I'm not even going to say Republicans because they're not decorated for Republicans, and they're not supporting local Republicans. They're only Trump supporters, and everything about their parades are for Trump only. Just forgetting local 100%. So I just thought, having this really fun parade with our cars decorated and drive to the recorder's office, and that would be it. But when we got to the recorder's office, there were all of these people coming excited, had nothing to do with our parade. They were coming to the recorder's office to drop off their ballots.
Nice.
We have record
Cool.
turnout in early voting already. And we're only like 4 days in.
Awesome.
That is such good news. Yay.
All right, and hey, we got Susie checking in from Seattle. How's everything going up there? How's the weather?
It's raining, of course. Would you expect anything else?
No.
Nope.
Yep. So I recently relocated to Washington from Arizona, so I'm getting used to this wet weather.
Yeah. Do you miss us? Because we miss you.
I do. I miss all of you.
All right,
That's the hardest part.
Susie, I loved your chapter 2 because what you talked about. That's how I met you. Is when I attended that. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, definitely. So I chose to write about really the first major political event that I organized, which was in 2017. Of course, like you said, after 2016, we were all extra motivated, I think. So Tara asked me to write about love, and I was thinking about, as opposed to our relationships we have with people in our lives, how do we show love in the world to everybody? And so I chose to write about organizing that event to bring people together in the community that had like-minded feelings, because we were in a place that we often feel alone. So,
Yeah.
So I had that picnic that was through the MoveOn.org organization, and that's where I met you, Michael.
Yeah. Hey, and let's give a shout out to one of the speakers there because I absolutely love this guy, Jevin Hodges.
Absolutely. He's also on the ballot in Maricopa County right now.
And he's running for
Board of Supervisors, District 1.
Jevin Hodge, yeah.
I
District 1, Jevin Hodge.
Yes.
yeah. So Jevin, I have to give him a copy of this to give him a shout out because hearing him speak in his passion, it just uplifted me, motivated me, and I went up to him afterwards and told him, you sound just like a young Barack Obama. I got that same feeling by listening to him speak.
Definitely. That event was the first time I had anyone from the Arizona Democratic Party from the state level come to speak in Kingman. And he came, and Karen Latham, the two of them came, and he was just so motivating. Both of them were, but he was just amazing.
And I was also impressed by the turnout that you got for that. I mean, what was it, 30, 40 people, something like that?
I
Let's
think
see.
after I counted up the sign-in sheet, I think we had 50 something, if I recall. And I remember leading up to it, of course, it was unsure who might show up. It was probably just going to be the regular usual 10. But so I was very happy to see so many people come out that day. I met quite a few new people that I had not met before.
Yeah. So, what else does everybody have going on with this book launch this week? Is there any other events happening?
I think we have a lot of stuff, although I do want to put a plug in that Tara and I drove up to Kingman for the Mojave Fair, and it was one of the most extraordinary experiences we had on the campaign. It was super, super, super awesome, and, you know, we felt that we added an element of bringing people together. I mean, we literally brought people from the fair into the tent to meet the Democrats. So, and vice versa. You know, the ice cream guy was like the highlight. I mean, we still talk about the ice cream guy.
Yep, that was when I first met the two of you. So that was just about 2 months, I think, after that Move On picnic. So that was a great summer.
Well, it's going to be even better after November 3rd. Next year's going to be great.
Fingers crossed.
There's lots of events that'll be going on during launch week. Hopefully, we'll be doing giveaways. We'll be doing all the different authors will be doing their own independent Facebook Lives and reading chapters and putting it in the group Love Meets Life and showing their links if you want to buy them directly from each author. Get a signed copy and things like that. We have to pivot and do things differently this year because we can't have traditional book signings and all of that, which is unfortunate, but you know, brings our creativity out. So we're okay with that.
How long
And
did
one of the Barnes and Nobles over by Tara's house is going to have a display up.
oh, nice.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And I was just giggling because these two chapters have a political side to them. Susie and Deidre have, you know, their background, but all of these stories are not political. I just was laughing. It's like we have the two political ones, you know, that are running. But yeah, they're so wide and diverse and vast. There's something for everybody for sure.
All right. Any questions?
I don't think I have any. I mean, I really enjoyed the book. I liked all the different stories. Even ones that I really couldn't relate to myself, like some of them that were more like the religious stories. I still thought they were great stories though.
Yeah.
I agree. There was something really diverse for everybody. And I think it made you think about what love looks like, what love is, how people show up in the world with love, and that it's just not all the same. I think if you ask 7 billion people in the world what love looks like, you'll get 7 billion answers. So it's just incredible to not give any rules around it and see how people react. Like, that was a really fun experiment. And some of these people have had stories that are 37, 38 years old, and they've never shared their story before. And they're very deep. I mean, giving their child up for adoption or and talking about the shame and the guilt around that, right? And
Yeah, that
it's
was a good
huge.
one.
Right.
Yeah, the lady that it was her only child too, right? And she,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was called Sacrifice
sad.
for Love. hmm
Mhm.
Right. And this is my friend, by the way. I've known her for years, and I had no idea of that story. So everyone was so brave and vulnerable in this book and open, and I love that. So I'm hoping that people will find something to relate to, and maybe it will help change somebody else's life.
Yeah, it taught me more about like what love meant because I'm one of those people who thought that love was more like rainbows and unicorns, you know? But yeah.
Well, I always tell people that, you know, if you think of love, I mean, think of if you have children. I don't have children, but if you think of it like you love your children, so you stop them from doing bad things. You give them boundaries. You know, you get on to them when they do something bad. You do that because you love them. That already proves that love is not thank you when someone hits you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I don't have children either, so maybe that's why I thought it was rainbows and
Well, you
unicorns.
can say the same thing with a spouse.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many good quotes in this book, and I just want to read one of them. This was from McKenna Murray. So what do you do about all the negativity in the world? You need to remember what love and kindness mean to you and share it at every opportunity. I mean, that's just great. It's just a great message to put out there, especially right now. Because I know...
Do you know that our 14-year-old?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty deep for a 14-year-old. That's
Right?
awesome.
Yeah, and we also try to always, Tara and I try to always point out that there's a difference between nice and kind. Nice is very much overrated. And, a famous thing that people say is, Jeffrey Dahmer, everybody who ever knew him, when they described him, they said he was such a nice guy, I mean, so nice is not actually what we're going for here, but kind. You can attack me and I can push back and I can still be kind. It's not the same thing as nice. And of course, nice is something that we've used to push down women constantly anyway. She's not nice. She stands up for herself. She's not nice.
I get told that a lot. But hey, I am kind.
In the kindest way possible.
I am kind, though. I gave away my entire stimulus check because I didn't really need it. So
That is extremely kind
yeah.
and generous.
Yeah. Is there anything else anybody wants to add to this conversation? Have we covered everything?
I think keep choosing to do the good in the world. Be the good, see the good, and enjoy the book. And we hope you find something you can relate to and support the authors and be brave. Maybe consider writing your own story.
Right. And at the end of each chapter, it has contact information for each of the authors. I mean, this was not only were people vulnerable, but they were open to continued relationship building and conversations.
Oh, yeah. There was one author that it didn't have contact info, but I really liked her story. The one who was raising the two Mexican Black sons.
Reach out to me at the end and tell me the title that you were talking about. I'm trying to think.
I know it was towards the end of the book. I just thought I would tell her that I really liked her story. I thought it was a good one too. But yeah, that
I know what you're speaking about. Of course, yes.
Yeah, hers was an important story too. Yeah.
Oh, and you know what's funny? Her story. You're talking about Amanda, and she was not. She was almost too shy to write in the story. She didn't. I mean, it was really, she did it, but it took her a minute to be okay, writing. And I told her her voice was just so powerful, and you just proved it right there. So I cannot wait to tell her what you said. You'll have to see her interview that she did. It was really good. I'll share it with you.
Oh, okay. Is it on Facebook?
It's in the group Love Meets Life.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll share the link to the podcast once I get this up later today, and if you could post it, have there, and hopefully the other authors get a chance to listen to it and know how much that we enjoyed the book.
Thank you so much. They'll love that.
Oh, and I like your sunglasses too.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the sunglasses for a minute.
Yeah, where people can get them, because people compliment me all the time when I wear mine.
That's awesome. Our love glasses. So we're kind of big into heart-shaped glasses. We have them wherever we go, and it just was symbolic. As a company, we started about 40 years ago. Deidre was pretty instrumental in helping me get that off the ground. One day, after about kind of a crazy situation in my life, my brother sent me a meme. It was a little guinea pig wearing heart-shaped glasses, and it said, "I can't see haters with my love glasses on." And from this meme, at the time in my life, I recognized I couldn't control how things were showing up in the world, but I could control my reaction to them. And this is where the Love Glasses Revolution was born. And so I run around with heart-shaped glasses in the world, trying to remind myself and others that we can make the world a better place together. So I'm pretty much obsessed with it. I'm obsessed. And that's why all the love. But yes, they can get those glasses at myloveglasses.com. And, we just love everyone that's wearing them. We call them love rebels. They rebel against the hate and the negativity, and they continue choosing love even when it doesn't seem like a possible choice. And that just, it looks like a lot of things. It looks like how people showed up in this book, actually. Love means life.
Yeah.
And real men wear love glasses. And also, even for people who, can't keep up with sunglasses or can't wear them or don't wear them or whatever, there's so many other symbolic things on the website that, because you're signing on to an idea and a movement, a commitment that you want to spread love in the world, that you want to be at least a small positive influence going forward in your circle of influence. And this is just a symbol to remind you to do that and remind you to share that. So however people, she's, sticker mania, all this is Tara. She has the Tara effect.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tara, for organizing all this.
Yeah, thanks, Tara.
And thank you, Susie, for coming on. Thank you, Deidre.
Thank you.
All right. We were really looking forward to this one and talking with all of you. And give it one more plug. Love Meets Life, stories of love showing up in unexpected ways. And that is out on October 13th.
On Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Or Barnes & Noble. Go
Online.
Go out and get this book. I need to get a hard copy of it myself. Get everybody to sign it.
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you guys. Okay. We appreciate it. And good luck with the book and good luck on all your endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was good.
Yeah, that was fun.
Still there?
Everybody's still here?
No, everybody's still there. You guys can keep on listening in if you want. We're going
Susie, how are you doing?
We're going to continue this. All right.
What?
How are you doing, Susie?
I'm doing.
All right. Hey. So, a technical error there. So we got our ballots, got those out
Yes.
quicker than ever. Did you know that Snoop Dogg and Shaq never voted before until this
And
year?
they are voting. Yeah, I heard that the other day. I'm like, why wasn't it last time enough for you to vote? Like, yeah. Or any time, actually. Like, I don't know.
So what else do we have going on this week? So remember last week we were talking about what Trump's reaction would be when he got out of the hospital, if he would become more kind about this situation, and it went
Or become Super Trump.
Oh yeah, it went exactly the way you predicted it. He said it was no big deal, even though
Even though every time they will talk about him, like medical people will see him doing his talks or whatever, and they're talking about things going on his face or like a bump under his eye, and like that he's out of breath from just saying the couple of sentences that so it's not like he's out of the water like he thinks.
and his makeup, it looks like he was doing it himself,
Right.
Because no one would really want to get near him.
Who would? Yeah. Like he made those. Did you hear about how he made the two aides go in his office? And so they were in there in hazmat suits. because he needed to go into the Oval Office.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, that, what? Who does that? And then why isn't there the whole, like, remember when AIDS had came out and then it was like, it had been around for a few years and there were people who were being held criminally responsible if they knowingly transmitted
yeah.
it to somebody else. How does this not fall under that? How is he not accountable for knowingly transmitting a disease that can potentially kill people?
Well, I heard like that when they announced confirmation, that's when everybody caught it at that Fauci said it was a super spreader event. And I've heard that this has infected like 6,000 people over 6 states.
Yeah. And he wants to go have a rally like tomorrow, I think, on Monday. Isn't one in Florida?
He's going to do that.
It's Monday or Tuesday. Or something
yeah, it
like
was
that.
when the next debate, because he didn't want to do the debate virtually.
Oh, then it might be Thursday. But he's not even out of the 14 days.
Well, come on, you got the stem cell treatment. Which,
I know,
how does that go over?
I thought they were against using aborted fetuses for, remember whenever W was president and they like had overturned that, or they had gotten rid of the use of stem cells because of where stem cells come from. I remember that being a big deal.
Yeah, well, I guess, but hey, trying to make positive here. It's all about love. So
Well, yeah, and that okay, that's not like the ideal situation, but look at something good has come from that. I mean, that's why I'm like, we need to believe more in science, folks, because
yeah, because we love science,
right.
especially on this podcast.
Well, yeah, but I mean, some other folks need to get on the science
Yeah, and
train.
People also need to realize that it's good he's recovering, but still hopefully loses the election.
Yes.
But what people don't realize is it's not like it's no big deal. He had the best medical treatment in the world. Normal people are not going to get that.
Socialized medicine, because we paid for it. That medical attention was paid for by the taxpayers. And that's the thing. That's the thing that's most upsetting about the way that he's handling having COVID. Not everyone is going to get that treatment. Normal folks are not going to get the same treatment that he got.
Yeah.
So it's sending a bad message.
One thing that this reading this book this week and doing the preparation for this, it reminded me of Martin Luther King. And you went to the Civil Rights Museum last year?
I actually went a few years ago. I can't
Was
remember.
it a few years ago at this
Yeah,
point?
Wow. I went quite a few years ago. Obama was still president when I went. I want to say maybe I went. I went in 2016 because the election hadn't happened yet. And I remember when we went into a few of the bars, like they had the thing, one of them had a thing set up like, who do you think will win? And like people had put their percentage, like their guesses or whatever. It was just something stupid that the bar was doing. Yeah. And they had the Trump and Hillary thing. So it was 2016 that I went. And yeah, there's a lady that actually protests out in front of the museum, and her stuff is like against Obama. And we didn't get to, she's a homeless lady. We were going to ask her why she had the issue or whatnot, because she was invited to go to the White House by President Obama, and she refused to do so Like,
Yeah.
but we never got to talk to her because she wasn't there. She must have went somewhere like when we came out of the museum. And there's actually two museums. Like there's the Civil Rights Museum, National Civil Rights Museum. It's my favorite museum that I've ever been to thus far. It's where the Lorraine Motel was. And they've completely gutted the hotel and turned it into an entire museum, which like starts out in slavery and then goes all the way through the civil rights movement. And then you end up, they have completely preserved Martin Luther King's room as it was when he stayed there. Like the bed's not even made and everything. And there's cigarette butts in the ashtray, and you don't go in the room, but you get to look at it through the glass. And then when you go across the street, the other museum is, they had preserved the room that James Earl Ray, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He the room that he stayed in, and like it shows you like the vantage point or whatever, and it talks about the different conspiracies behind that too. It's I recommend everyone going. If you're in the Memphis area, go to that museum. It's well worth it. Go early because there's a lot. I feel like I need to go back because I feel like there was like so many stories that I didn't get to read, especially just in that first room alone. Like the way that things were was really, at first it was very, very, it's a lot. The walls are like wallpapered with newspaper ads, classified ads. And in the first section of it, it's people selling people. And it's the way that they describe people is awful. And then at the end of it, because it's the end of slavery, it's even sadder because it's now classifieds of people who are trying to find their family members because they were sold off from each other. And it's absolutely sad. Mm-hmm. And then you understand more why there's so many, like, God, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, sorry, I get like upset thinking about it, but the stigmas, like the stigmas of like, you know, people talking about how like even like the Black father not being there or whatever. But people don't understand where all of that comes from. These people were ripped apart from their family. They didn't want to leave their families, you know, and it's just.
And it's something, you know, people just say, well, just get over it. But in the big scheme of history, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, time-wise, it was only a few generations ago that this happened.
Yeah, I mean, and going through and learning about the Black Panthers, too. I mean, I thought the Black Panthers were great. I'm like, yeah, they should stand up. Like, and I mean, one of the people that I went with made the comment like, well, they didn't have a right to force to say that they were owed, like, you're going to give us assistance or whatnot. And I'm like, well, yeah, I understand why they did it. If you're not going to give them jobs, how else are they going to take care of their families? How else are they going to support it? So I understood what they were saying. You know, it's like, you're keeping us down, you're oppressing us, then what the fuck are we supposed to do? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe folks need to, if you want to know more about it too, why don't you sometimes just mess around with the pressure cooker? What happens after so much pressure? I mean,
right. You know,
things explode. I mean, yeah. So,
Anyway, the point being, how we got to MLK is one of his quotes. One of my favorite quotes by him is, "Hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that." And that's a really important message, especially these days, and that because there's so much hate in the world, and I just don't understand it.
Yeah, there. Here's a short paragraph about Martin Luther King when he was a young boy. Martin Luther King Jr. became friends with a white boy whose father owned a business across the street from his family's home. In September 1935, when the boys were about 6 years old, they started school. King had to attend a school for black children, Young Street Elementary School, while his close playmate went to a separate school for white children only. Soon afterwards, the parents of the white boy stopped allowing King to play with their son, stating to him, "We are white and you are colored." When King relayed the happenings to his parents, they had a long discussion with him about the history of slavery and racism in America. Upon learning of the hatred, violence, and oppression that Black people had faced in the United States, King would later state that he was determined to hate every white person. His parents instructed him that it was his Christian duty to love everyone.
There you go. It's a good message. So, hey, I hope we gained a few listeners this week. Follow us on social media, Reality Redemption, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please like, subscribe, and download these episodes. Follow us. Hopefully we can have more positive, uplifting episodes in the future.
Starting November 4th.
Yeah. What's the next? Yeah, the next. I hope that's a celebration podcast.
Right?
Yeah, we just sitting here drinking, and
we'll already have like New Year's hats on and everything.
We'll be drinking either way. Although I don't think by that weekend, I don't think we'll actually know who won. I think it's gonna be one that it's gonna be drawn out.
Well, unless it's like a landslide, which a lot of experts are saying that it is very close in Texas. And they're also saying that if Biden wins Texas, it's over for Trump because there's so many electoral numbers in that state. Yeah. So, yeah, there's no way. Because he's already going to have like New York and California and then all the other blue states. So, yeah, if he got Texas, done for.
Did you see the Bill Maher from yesterday?
Yeah.
When what he talked about at the very end, how if it goes to the elector college, that was kind of a scary thought.
They've been talking about that a lot too, yeah, because there are more red states than there are blue states,
right? And then it could possibly go to the House, where each state would have one vote, and it would be 26-24,
right? And that is a reality. That's why we need people to vote, even if you're a first-time voter like Snoop Dogg and Shaq.
Yeah, vote. And if you're in Arizona, they extended
the deadline to register to vote. It used to be, I believe it was the 7th that you had to be registered by.
Yeah.
They have extended it to October 23rd. So if you have not registered, please register. Please vote.
Yeah.
We're desperate.
Vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
Yeah.
Hey, and speaking of that, there's a couple things. We lost Eddie Van Halen this week.
Yeah, that was sad.
It was a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, for Eddie Van Halen, because I also lost my cousin a couple months ago, and my cousin she had the biggest crush on Eddie Van Halen, so I can only hope that she's hanging out with him now and telling him how awesome he was.
He was a huge influence on me, and I went to go see Van Halen on the 5150 tour in 1986. It was like the summer, August 12th, 1986, remember the day. And I saw him, and I was just starting to get into playing guitar. And when he came out and did his solo, I just sat there, just jaw on the floor, mesmerized, and it's awesome. And people always go, when a celebrity dies and there's a lot of attention, they go, well, how come there's not as attention when a veteran commits suicide or when something else happens? But at least with me, when you lose somebody like Eddie, you lose a part of yourself because I was so close to him.
Yeah, and the music's for us too. And it's not like people aren't upset, outraged, and distraught when veterans commit suicide. It's not like that people aren't. I mean, I don't know what to say to people like that. It's like, then are you saying that because you don't want to be upset about, you're like, who cares if the celebrity died then? I mean, I don't get the train of thought there with that line of thinking. It's sad either way. They're still, just because they're a celebrity, they're still a human being. Like, I get sick and tired of listening to the whole spiel of, I don't want to know how celebrities vote. I don't really care. Why are they talking about their political preference? Well, they're still humans. They're still voters. They're still Americans.
Right.
They're residents. Like, that's just their job.
They just have a bigger platform and their voice is bigger, so.
Right.
But it sometimes it's like, it's okay if James Woods or Kid Rock says it because they're agreeing with you. And then.
Right. They think it's okay. Like, I'm fine with what Kid Rock and James Woods think, and Angelina Jolie's dad, for that matter. I'm fine with what all of them think on their political thing. I don't sit there and cry about it. I don't understand.
I know, but that goes back to need more love, less hate, and stop.
Right.
So stop hating.
Yeah. Let people just think of it this way, like, that person has the right to exist. I can be kind to them. I can be polite to them. I don't have to hang out with them, but I don't have to, like, my neighbor down the street flies a Confederate flag. I have no interest in hanging out with him, but he has every right to. I mean, this is America, but.
Maybe he just thinks it's the General Lee flag.
Right.
Maybe he's just a fan of the show.
He's just a fan of the Dukes of Hazzard. Right.
I've got one more quote from the book. This is from Linda Donegan. You may not be able to change the world, but you can alter someone's. Wait, let me start over. You may not be able to change the world, but you can alter how someone experiences living in it. Your smile reminds people that they are not alone. Saying hello reminds people there is kindness in this world. Be the person people believe there is good in the world. Kindness matters.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. It got me thinking that I'm going to try to do that more often. Like just smile at strangers or say hello.
Yeah, I noticed that, being a little bit more compassionate. And I've been trying to do that too lately. Because it's all about how did you love? And, life is short. So anyway, hey, it's all about love. I love doing the podcast with you. You've been a good friend for a long time.
I love it too.
All right. Love you, Snow.
Love you, MJ.
Okay. And we love all of our listeners out there.
And we love our guests that were on today too.
Love our guests. One more time with a plug. Comes out October 13th, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and it is Love Meets Life. Stories of love showing up in unexpected ways. Please check it out, okay?
Yes, check it out.
Okay. And we'll see you all next week, okay?
Bye, y'all.
Bye.